Alright guys, what's going on? So, I'm going to do a little video today, and it's going to be a little bit different video, and this is kind of more of a, I want to hear your thoughts, but these are some of my thoughts on this on the topic, and the topic is home defense. You know, what your choice is for your home defense, what is your system, and just kind of a few things that I've been thinking about. I just watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and just some things that kind of jumped out to me that, you know, were kind of crazy that some of the people think. But for me, I think it totally depends on your scenario. I think it's going to depend on your home and how it's laid out, and a lot of different things that go into that factor. I don't think anyone can say shotguns are the best thing for home defense, bar none, no doubt. Pistols are the best for home defense. An AR-15 is the best for home defense, which I think those are all choices, and it all depends on your scenario. Kind of just let's start the video, talk about my current home defense setup. We'll start with that, and we'll kind of go into a few categories. So this is my current choice for home defense. This is and you can see the chambers open, no magazine. This is a Walther PPQ. In my opinion, the finest striker fire pistol on the market. And you'll go on the internet and read, and you'll find that a lot of people agree. You have your Glock fanatics that are, you know, Glocks are great guns. I'm not gonna get into a bashing war. I do need to plug in my camera, or else it's gonna die. So if I do bump it, that's why. Just give me a sec. I'm not here to talk about debates about, you know, why a Walther PPQ is better than a Glock, or, you know, why Glocks, you know, those kind of things. I'm not gonna do that. But all right, sorry about that. Didn't know my battery was so dead, but we're all plugged in now. So love the PPQ. Great gun, great trigger. You notice I do have a tack light on there. That is a Streamlight TLR4. It does have the light and the laser. You can barely pick up the laser, so it's got both on at the same time. Not that I'm a huge laser fan, but it was a pretty good price, and it came with both, so I thought, why not? So, but I choose this because I am very proficient with this weapon. I've done some training with this weapon. I've shot thousands of rounds through this weapon with no malfunctions to be known. I trust it. It's very reliable. And I say training, dang it, and I meant to, oh, I got this right here. I say training because I've actually gone down to Front Sight. Front Sight's down in just outside of Vegas. It's pretty much a world-renowned firearms training institute, and I did the pistol course, and I'm a pretty avid shooter. I shoot quite often. I would say I'm, you know, a pretty decent, pretty good shot actually, and, you know, I've shot quite a bit in the ranges and stuff. But the things they teach you there are things you just don't think about, and they're very informative. It's very good training. If you have a chance to go down there, definitely jump on it, because it's a ton of fun. It's very good training. It's made me a much better shooter. It taught me quite a few things. But the really one thing it teaches is awareness, and it's really invaluable. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you only have one gun, you're like, oh, I'm going to go out and buy a shotgun for home defense. Don't. Go and get some training, whether it be at Front Sight, some other type of training institute. And when I say training, make sure it's good training, make sure it's an accredited place, because you don't want to get taught some wrong things. But Front Sight's awesome. Highly recommend it. So that's why I choose the PPQ. 15 rounds of 9mm hollow points, gonna get the job done. Not here to debate 45, 49. I choose 9 because it's got low recoil. The modern loads are more than sufficient for home defense. I mean, those are 124 grain bullets, and I'm just good with it. You know, it doesn't have the bad recoil. If my wife had to shoot it, I feel confident, you know, she shot the gun, that she could do it. So that's really what it comes down to for me. Now, you've been looking at my YouTube channel and you're like, well, what about that AR-15 shotgun you've got? I mean, that'd be awesome for home defense. Well, yeah, it would be. I'm just not 100% confident in that gun for a home defense scenario, because I just haven't shot it enough. I mean, I've shot probably 150 rounds through it, and I've had hardly any malfunctions, especially not with buckshot, which is what I would use for home defense. It has zero malfunctions. But I haven't got a good training on it yet, how to, you know, use the shotgun, I think, properly, and that's why I picked the Walther. That's why I picked the pistol. Really, there's 3 categories here. There's handguns, shotguns, and rifles. I like handguns because they're compact, they're easy to maneuver, they have less penetration, so if you are worried about shooting through your neighbors, through your home wall into your, you know, another bedroom, or shooting through, you know, your home to another home and having an incidental, one thing they teach you at front sight is always know where your target is and what's behind your target. You know, you always want to know what's behind the target by, and they even give you like a certain measurement of, you know, distance. You don't know that. If you don't know that, then you're much better off using a handgun if you have to, because it's got less penetration. And when I say less penetration, I don't mean on the bad guy. It's going to do the job on the bad guy. It's on, you know, penetrating through walls, through your home, you know, and hitting into innocent people. I think handguns are good for most home defense scenarios, regardless of your home size. You know, unless you've got crazy long corridors and you live in a mansion, then you might want a rifle. But I think a handgun is going to be best because it's going to be easy to maneuver, and it's, you know, it should work for any size, even if it's a small apartment or if it's a, you know, good sized home. It should work just fine. And then one thing I will note, and I'll note this on any home defense, is have a light. Now, you don't have to necessarily have a light on the rail, even though I highly recommend it. I really like weapon lights. I trained with this light on. I've got a holster made for this by Kulu and Kolk that has the, you know, made for the light. I train with the light. So, but if you don't have a light mount on your gun, at least have some sort of a flashlight handy, you know, and know how to train and use that. I just found it easier to have it mounted on the weapon. So yeah, let's talk about shotguns. And again, guys, I'm not an expert. This is just my opinion. Keep that and take that for what it's worth, because I'm not an expert. I'm not military. I'm an avid shooter. I have had some training, like I said, at front sight, and I plan on continuing to train at front sight with their shotgun course, their rifle course, the whole yarn. So let's talk about shotguns. We've got a few different options in shotguns, and the same with handguns. You could have a revolver. Those are great because they're way less problematic as far as malfunctioning, but you do give up the capacity and the reload time, and I think that is an important note to make, or a point. Is capacity is definitely something you want to look at. You want to be able to put down that target, and if you have 6 shots to do it and you have to reload, you could be in trouble. There could be multiple assailants. You never know. That's why having a higher capacity may be a better choice. So let's talk about shotguns. So you got pump shotguns, you got semi-auto shotguns. Now here's a bad choice in a shotgun. And this shotgun is so long it's not even going to show in this frame at all. This is a Mossberg 500. It's got a 28-inch barrel. I mean, I'm going to have a hard time moving this tripod up. So it's a 12 gauge, 28-inch barrel. God, I hate my tripod. I need to fix that. Not the best choice. Why? Because it's way too long. It's going to be hard to maneuver, if you have to go upstairs, if you have to move around a hallway, around a door frame. Just too big. It's a hunting shotgun. It's meant to kill ducks, waterfowl. It's meant to shoot trap with. That's the only purpose that gun shoots for me, is to shoot trap. So let's talk about another pump shotgun. And this, in my opinion, is an ideal choice if you know how to use it. This is, and you can't see it. Let me just move this down. Sorry, this is going to jolt. Oh, that thing is just not coming down. Alright, we're just not going to worry about it. This is a Remington 870 clone. It's made by Norinco. It's a really good gun. I outfitted it in Magpul stock 4-end. This is actually now my brother-in-law's gun. I sold it to him because he wanted something better for home defense. He was using a big old 28-inch barrel shotgun as well, so he wanted a good home defense shotgun, and that is something that's going to definitely do the job. It's pumped, it's reliable. I believe that one holds 7 rounds. I did the extension on that one, so good choice. Again, if you know how to use it. It's got the shell carrier on the side. It's got a way to mount a light, so you're good to go, and that's a great choice. My brother-in-law is gonna love that. Let's look at a semi-auto shotgun. This is the newly, for me, MK 1919. Semi-automatic, magazine fed, 10-round mags. It's a beast. 10 rounds of buckshot doesn't do it. You're in a world of hurt. Luckily, I do have another 10-round mag if it didn't, right? So that's another option. But again, I haven't chosen this, which is one a lot of people said, well, why not? That's powerful, it's magazine. You know, it's kind of the best of both worlds. You get capacity plus you get the power of a shotgun. Well, I haven't trained on that. You know, that's why I haven't chosen it. The nice thing I like about shotguns is they're very versatile weapons. You have multiple ammo choices. I mean, heck, you could even have beanbag rounds. You could even have, you know, what's what I'm looking for? Ooh. Non-lethal rounds, excuse me. You know, they sell those. You can buy those, and that would be a good choice if you don't want to end someone's life, which I obviously don't want to do that, but I, you know, will if I have to defend my family. But you know, that's a good choice as well. So you do have a lot of ammo choices with shotguns. So I like that about shotguns, and they're going to put down a target. Now, when I say choice of ammo, this is important because you choose the wrong ammo for a shotgun, you could be in trouble. When I say the wrong ammo, I mean birdshot. Better than nothing? Absolutely. Is it the best choice? Absolutely not. 12 gauge buckshot is going to probably be your best choice in a home defense scenario. I think slugs are a little overkill. They have too much penetration. I'm afraid, you know, going through walls. So I think your buckshot is definitely your best shot, your best one. I wouldn't trust my life to birdshot. Let's put it there. All right, so shotguns. The cons on the shotgun: recoil. A lot of recoil. 12 gauges, especially short barreled like that Remington 870, 18.5 inch barrel. The MK 1919 is a 20-inch barrel. They have a lot of recoil. Now the semi-autos have less. That's why I like them better for a home defense scenario. Is they do have less recoil. So if you had a family member that had to shoot it, at least you know that you're gonna have less recoil. But that's definitely one of the cons. I think is they're gonna have a lot of recoil. And capacity is normally a con. Even with the MK 1919 with the 10-round mags, that's only 10 rounds. I mean, I'm getting 15 rounds of 9mm in my handgun with an easy reload to another 15 rounds. With an AR-15, you're getting 30 rounds. You know, so you're getting more capacity. With a pump shotgun, you're getting, I think I got, like I said, 6 plus 1, maybe 7 plus 1 out of that Remington. I have to remember. So, and then it's slower to reload. Sitting there trying to reload a shotgun if you had to in a stressful situation could be very difficult. However, if you do receive that additional necessary training for that, I think you're going to be fine. So keep that in mind. I think the number one thing to take out of the whole video and out of all my philosophy is training. Alright, so let's talk about rifles. This is my Smith & Wesson M&P 15. AR-15. Got it all decked out the way I want it. It's a beautiful gun. I absolutely love it. Shot the heck out of it. Thousands of rounds through this one. It's got a nice optic. It's actually a Bushnell TRS-25, which is like an aim-point clone. It's been a great optic. It's held up just fine. But let's talk about the AR-15 for a home defense. And I even wrote some notes down for once. I usually do these videos kind of by the seat of my pants, but so the nice thing about an AR-15 is it's going to be low recoil. I mean, pretty much anyone can shoot it. You know, you have your collapsible stock that you can move to. You know, if you had someone that was shorter, a smaller frame, they could easily shoot the gun. So it's easy to shoot, especially with an optic like a red dot. It's going to be easy to shoot. Easy to operate. I think, you know, they're very easy to charge, to get the rounds in the chamber, to fire the gun, to use the safety. Very easy to operate. A lot of capacity, 30 rounds. I mean, some even have those surefire 60-round mags, or those drum mags, where you can get a little crazy. But 30 rounds is going to be more than sufficient. But I think the number one downfall versus a pistol and a shotgun is overpenetration. I don't know that I'm comfortable shooting an AR. Let's add another one to the mix. Sound. This is one that I think that's very important. Noise. How loud is the gun to shoot? If you've ever shot an AR-15 without ear protection, you know what I'm talking about. Crazy loud. Now times that by shooting inside your home. Again, crazy loud. It's going to disorient you. It's going to, you know, maybe in your advantage, it may disorient the bad guy also, but that's one thing to take into account. Pistols, not nearly as loud. Shotguns, not nearly as loud. So that is one downfall to the rifle is noise. But over penetration, I think, should be your number one concern here, because you don't want this bullet shooting through one bedroom to another and hitting an innocent, you know, one of your children. You don't want it going through your home into a neighbor's home. And a .223 rifle, you know, a .223 projectile is going to travel, you know, over 3,000 feet per second. It's cooking. It's going fast. It can easily penetrate. So that is one negative for me. And for my home and the way my home is set up, as good as I am with an AR-15, I still haven't. I shouldn't even say that. I shouldn't say as good as I am with an AR-15. As familiar as I am with this weapon, and as much as I've used it, and much as I trust it, I don't think it's the best choice unless there is multiple targets, multiple assailants. You know, then yeah, I'm gonna grab the AR-15. But you know, for the most part, like I said, I'm gonna stick to the pistol because I think for me that is the best thing. It's got what I've got the most training on. It's what I'm most comfortable with. So those are just, you know, three. Again, it depends on the layout of your home, depends on what you're comfortable with. If you have nothing, if you just have an AR-15, then that should be your choice because it's better than a knife. It's better than a kitchen knife. It's better than a baseball bat. You know, I've had this argument with my stepfather many times. Oh, I just grabbed the baseball bat, and I'm like, well, you have your baseball bat, and I'll have my gun, and we'll see what happens. Or you have that knife. Hey, this is coming from a knife guy, and I'll have my gun. And again, there's just nothing. You want to be on the same level or higher than your attacker, and if they have a gun and you have a gun, then that's at the same level. If they have a knife, they have a bat, club, and you have a gun, you're on a much higher level. So just keep that in mind. Those are just some thoughts I thought of, guys. I don't want to ramble too long on this video. It's just something that's kind of been on my mind. So I'd love to hear your insight, though, what you think is best, what you use, what your system is. A video response would be sweet. I always like looking at guns, so if you got some cool guns to show, definitely make a video. But I think the number one thing, again, to take away from this is training. I would hate for anyone to be, oh, I've got this badass shotgun for my, excuse my language, for my home defense, yet I've only ever shot trap with it, or I've never actually taken a shotgun course, or I've never, you know, you got to train, you know, and the best you can. Obviously, we can't go out and shoot people, you know, that's obviously not legal, and you'll go to, you know, that's a weird thing to be saying, sorry. But you can get the best training you possibly can. That you know, one thing that was cool about Front Sight for me is they had a home invasion scenario. You got to go into this home, and you had targets, and you had to not shoot at certain targets and shoot at other targets that were assailants. So it taught you a lot of, you know, decision making on the fly. But it was just cool. It was cool training. It was like a realistic type scenario, and I think that's really invaluable to have, you know, that ability to do that. So, but again, one other thing I want to highlight real quick is if you're running anything, have some sort of light, because if you can't see the target and you can't identify the target, what if you think it's a bad guy but it's one of your family members? Or what if you have a sleepwalking neighbor that just comes into your home? You know, you don't want to shoot them. You got to be able to identify target. That's why I think a light is a huge, huge deal. And if it's not, and there is one usually mounted on this AR-15. It's on this little mount here. It's just not on there right now. I think I've got it. Yeah, it's just sitting over there. So I don't have it matched there right now just because I haven't been using this for home defense. So definitely have a light, someone to identify your target. And number one thing, again, is training. And then when you get training, or when you pick a weapon platform, test it. Make sure that it works. Don't go to the gun store, buy yourself a nice Glock 19, and then go put it in your, load it full of rounds, charge one in the chamber, put it in your gun safe, you're ready to rock. Haven't even shot the gun. How do you know it doesn't malfunction? How do you know? You have to constantly test your equipment. That's why I try to shoot as much as I can, because it's more of it's a muscle memory thing, to learn muscle memory. It's a training thing to practice what I've learned. But again, it's to test the equipment to make sure it's going to work. So, again, if anything you can take out of this, training and test. Test. Shoot your, test your system. Make sure that it works. and continues to work, and then maintain that system. One thing I've seen with gone shooting with some family members that have a ton of guns, they don't clean their guns, and then they go out and shoot them, and they're malfunction. They're like, oh man, this thing's a piece of crap. I'm like, no, it's actually extremely dirty, and it would work just fine if you maintained it. So maintenance is a huge thing. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the video today. Any questions? Wow, 20 minutes. Okay, long one. Any questions or comments? Leave them in the comments. Appreciate the likes, the subscribes, and sharing the video. I really appreciate that. And again, please, video responses are awesome. I don't know if YouTube even does those anymore with the new Google Plus thing. If not, comments. Love to have a nice discussion about this. So, all right, guys, take care.